Welcome to the Happiness Drive Success podcast, brought to you by Motivate Coaching, the multidiscipline practice for extraordinary people. Here, we discuss finding your happiness and how you can use it to drive your success. Please welcome your host, co-founder, CEO, and master of discovering happiness, Stuart Isham-Fairbairns.
Hello, beautiful, wonderful friends. How are we today? It is a scorcher of a day in Africa today. We've just coming out the other side of rainy season, and today's a lovely dry day. It's beautiful sunshine, and right now, as usual, I'm out on a hike with Harlow. So again, excuse the huffing and puffing in between what I share. Enjoyed the sounds of wildlife in the background, insects and birds, frogs, you name it. The occasional lion and elephant too, if you're listening closely. What I want to talk about today is your ratios in your life. So there's a very important ratio that I want to chat about when it comes to spending time on your own self-development, your own personal growth, whether it's career, financial, spiritual. What I really want to look at is the importance of doing it. Well, it can be quite daunting when looking at personal development, especially if you've not done this kind of thing before or intentionally done it. Now, every one of us and every one of you listening to this, I can be pretty sure have done some self-development through your life, whether it was intentional or not, or facilitated by others and supported, but it will have happened. You have developed your personal self. It could have been a course at work that you were put on, or a number of things. Or it could have been at university or college, or a social group you go to. What is often not the case is without that facilitation, we don't sort of pick up the mantle and do it ourselves and just kind of choose that we're going to take on some personal development and opportunity to do so. What I want to look at is the power of doing so, because I personally have done a lot, especially in the last few years. The difference that I've seen is massive, and there's a reason why psychology practices are changing to recognize more positive psychology, the importance of personal development. I mean, big companies around the world now hire coaches to come in and support their staff. Now, the reason they do that is not because it's some fad that they feel they need to be on trend with. It's incredibly important and understood how important personal development of individuals and teams is in order to get the best out of them, to help us feel motivated and personally strong within ourselves, within our emotions, our physical selves, our thoughts, our experience in life. A motivated person is much more likely to do a better job. I think we can all logically agree with that, can we not? A lot of the time I feel we might be waiting for someone else to come along and give us this personal development opportunity, where what I want to chat with you about is how you can take that mantle up yourself. And it doesn't have to be some big upheaval. You don't need to be an expert in these things, because every one of the practices that we discuss in this podcast are things that you do anyway. It's just changing it slightly. It's paying attention to your thoughts. It's paying attention to how you react in situations. It's many different things, but it's stuff that you're doing already, but all you're doing is observing it. And this is how you can just completely take control of your life. So what I want to chat about is these ratios. When you first start out looking at personal development, now let's say meditation does it for you. So you want to start meditating. Meditating doesn't work for you, so you do journaling. It could be gratitude journaling or just reflective journaling. It could be that you want to do something in the realm of your fitness. You might start running or hiking, like myself. Whichever it is, that area of development that you're looking at. When you first start out, let's talk about a ratio of 1 to 1. So for every minute that you put into your personal development translates to a minute closer to you achieving what it is you want to achieve out of life. So those big lofty goals, that mansion, the Ferrari, the stable family that you have in a lovely home of 4, whatever your aspiration is, whatever that goal is fantastic and it's yours. There's a fantastic saying which I absolutely love, is that it's not that we aim too high and miss it, it's that we aim too low and hit it. So it's good to aim high, but you need to be realistic about the steps between here and there. You're not going to think, I want a mansion and I'm currently earning £20 a day, $20 a day, whatever it may be, and expect it by next week. It's obviously not going to happen. unless you put yourself in some pretty substantial debt, which we're not doing. So we want to be realistic about the steps getting there. So have that goal by all means, but you're going to have closer goals that you want to achieve. A 5-year-long goal, let's say, and you've got that, and that's a lovely sort of space of time for you to be able to do a lot and achieve a lot. So in that time, for every minute that you put into your self-development, you get a minute closer to achieving that goal. You can begin to actually reduce the time between you and achieving this goal by doing this personal development work. The really exciting news is that the ratios start to tip, and they tip in your favor. So any personal development action that you look to do, if it's the financial tracking, if it's doing the hiking, if it's meditation, aeroplane, if it's meditation, if it's journaling, whatever it may be for you, you need to do it consistently and you need to repeat it. You can't do it once and expect to get the benefits of it. That's not how anything works. You can't go to the gym once and expect to have a six-pack unless you went in with a six-pack, and I'm not talking about beer. It takes consistency, and again, as we have discussed many times, it doesn't get easier, we get stronger. So the more we do it, the stronger we get at it. But then the other great thing to this, balance tips. So when we started with 1-to-1, so let's say 1 minute for 1 minute, you might think to yourself, personal development's a waste of time because for every minute I'm spending on that, I'm not focusing on my goals. When in actual fact, for every minute you put into your personal development, you're taking a minute off your personal goals, if you're applying it consistently to your life and pushing forwards with it, and it's something that's important to your life that you recognize that's going to make a difference. Now, the more you do this practice, the more that balance tips, and you start to get 1 for 2. So for every minute of personal development you put in, you take off 2 minutes of your progress. So you carry on. Now you've got 1 for 3, 1 for 4, 1 for 20, 1 for 60. Now 1 for 60 is quite exciting, because that's for every minute of personal development time you put in, you're taking off an hour of your time between you and achieving your goals. And there's no reason, rhyme or reason, for this ratio to stop tipping in your favor. But what it takes is committing to that personal development aspect of your life. So how do you start? Well, first, think about what's a priority in your life right now. Because you might look and think, okay, in 5 years' time, I can recognize that I need to have clarity of mind, more self-confidence, courage. You could write down, I'm sure, a huge list of things that you feel that you could do with, or maybe it's a short list. But either way, there's probably going to be multiple. You don't want to start taking them all at once, because you're just going to overwhelm yourself. You're going to find it too hard, and it's going to fall flat. You want to introduce these things slowly into your life. You have plenty of time. No matter what life stage you're at, there is time for you to focus on you and what it is that you want to get out of life. If you're in some great hurry and great rush, you can try it. I think it's worked for some people in the past, but it's definitely not the greatest methodology. You all know about the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise wins the race every time. Be the tortoise, be trusting, trust in yourself. Take on one thing. What is a priority area in your life right now? Do you find that you're limited by some belief in your life? Do you feel that you could do with more courage because you have to do presentations regularly or more confidence? So what area right now is a priority in your life? And that's where to start. Find something in your life that is limiting you in one way or another, and then go out and search for how people have resolved that situation. Now, coaches are a great way to get clarity on that. Why not book a session with me? We can chat it through, and then we can come to find some tools and practices that you could implement that can help you work out what you can do on a regular basis in order to help grow and develop and get past this limiting action that you have in your life. Take that initiative. Find the courage within yourself to try it. Because once you start, no one can deny, no mathematician, no accountant, no scientist, no brilliant, wonderful, intelligent person can deny that these ratios are not working in your favor. So the more that you do, and it's now studies have proven it, it is recognized as such a powerful tool for us as people to be able to take control over our own lives, to be able to choose the direction of our lives by building ourselves up. And no one can do it for you. Be courageous, be strong. Just take that first step. Even if you just go to Google and you type in, I wish I had more confidence when it comes to meeting new people. You're going to find lots of articles of people who have found the same thing, had the same issue, and there will be suggestions on there. Now, We all know that with the internet, you should never ever Google an illness if you're feeling ill, because it's going to tell you in one way or another, most likely, that you're dying of something horrible. I don't know if any of you have made that mistake, but I did, certainly in the early days of the internet. Yes, I remember when it first started. For all you youngsters listening. So you be careful of what you read when you're scrolling through articles and pages. This again is where coaching comes in really handy, because it can just help you find the right things specifically for you to help you get on track. So ladies and gentlemen, take control of your ratios. Find your direction in life. Are you feeling lost, frustrated, irritated, anxious, alone, lonely, just at a crossroads in life, not sure which way to go? If that is you, the best possible thing you can do is some coaching. It's a small investment financially and of time that can completely change the entire experience of your life. This is your life. Grab it. Don't let it slip by. Don't let someone else tell you that you are limited by this or that. You're only limited by what you believe. So let's explore that. Let's smash your life. Let's make it fantastic. Let's make it as big and bold and exciting as it can be. And even if you want to live a quiet life in a cabin in a forest, reading books and listening to music, that's your version of smashing life. So let's smash it. Let's make that happen. If that's you, how close do you feel to having that cabin, that library of books, that wonderful LP player? How close are you to getting those things? And if you're not, if it feels like it's a million miles away, then let's do it. Stand up. Okay, how do I move forward? How do I get this? How you get it is by standing up. First step. Secondly, reach out. Again, if you do it in Google, be careful what you read. If you do it to me as a coach, then fantastic. Let's do this. I'm excited to work with you. My passion is helping you find what it is you want out of life and how to get it. Isn't that cool? Isn't that exciting? So let's work your ratios, folks. That's the end of this podcast. Have an amazing day. Top banana day, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely love chatting with you. Have a fantastic rest of your day or evening or afternoon or morning, wherever you are. Thanks so much for tuning in. Do come and join us on the Facebook page, facebook.com/groups/join your happy place, or just in the search box in Facebook, you can just search for Join Your Happy Place and you'll find us there. The Motivate coaching team, myself, lots of wonderful, fantastic, beautiful people who are there to share and find more happiness in life. So please come and do the same. Thank you so much for listening. If you do want to book a session with me, which I highly recommend to just get things on track and boosting forward, go to the Motivate Coaching website, which is motivate-coaching.com. On the homepage there, you'll see there is a button to book a session that takes you straight through to my private calendar, and you can book a session immediately and you and I can have a chat, get your life on track and just get you smashing your way towards your goals and your dreams. Isn't that exciting? Woohoo! Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, have a top banana day. Thanks so much for tuning in and talk to you very soon.
Thanks so much for listening. If you're interested in learning more, go to the Motivate website at www.motivate-coaching.com. If you'd like to get in touch with Stuart directly, you can get him at Stuart, spelled Stuart, at motivate-coaching.com. Thanks so much for joining us, and remember, your happiness drives your success. See you next time, folks.